Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Say what up to me in chat so I can know that you hear me. Let me know if audio is good. Let me know if the music in the background is too loud. And let me know where you are watching from for people that are confused as to what's going on. I am an illustrator and designer that is streaming on behalf of Work Louder tonight to walk through some of the process of my illustration, and then also show off the keyboard that I'm working on, which is the Nomad E, and then I'm also working with a Creator Micro version 1. Version 2 is coming out soon. And yeah, it's going to be a chill stream where I'm just going to be doodling and drawing, answering questions if you have any. And yeah, feel free to bother me about any questions you have, whether they be about keyboards or Work Louder stuff or drawing, design, or anything, skateboarding, music, whatever. Dang, is that how I say your name? Let me know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but in the meantime I'm going to call you Dang. And yeah, thanks. I love this keyboard. I just put some new dial tips on it. I got the atomic green colors. Let me switch to full screen for you. Yeah, it's looking really nice now. And I've got a black shell coming in the mail soon too, so I'll be switching between the covers. So for anyone that doesn't know, you can swap out the top shells and the keys and all that, so you can get really custom with it, make it real cute. I am going to drop my screen down here. Today we are going to be drawing Pee Wee Herman, if anyone is familiar. I was just talking with Mike from Work Louder, and he didn't seem super familiar with Pee Wee, so I'm shocked. But my dad and I watched this movie all the time when I was younger, and there's this scene where he runs into a pet shop and saves all the snakes, and so I doodled this sketch, and we're going to be working on that. Is that a TFT or mini LED screen? It's mini LED, so it's full color, and can have animations and stuff like that. Here, we'll see if I can adjust, but yeah, no, it's a proper, I don't know what the resolution is, like 180 wide maybe by like 360 tall? I forget. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's a small screen, but it feels great. Looks great. And they're gonna have a bunch of different not plugins, widgets for it coming out pretty soon too, like Spotify integration and stuff like that. So I'm working in Adobe Illustrator tonight, and I just want to make sure I have my shortcuts set up correctly. So the Nomad can switch between different profiles if I hold down the function key and then go through QWERTY. I can jump into my Illustrator preset, which has these knobs and buttons all set to different things, as well as a lot of the keys change profiles. So I have it swap between like Photoshop and Illustrator, After Effects, Final Cut, stuff like that. And I am going to be working in Illustrator, so I have my Illustrator set up, and I've also got, yeah, I got my Micro with a couple extra shortcuts over here. Covering water, hello. Sorry I missed your chat, what's up? Are you still here? I've got a chat window up that brings everybody's chat in from TikTok and YouTube, and normally Instagram, so I can see where you're chatting me from wherever you are. Wanted this for so long but never got the budget and an import for the Vietnam market. Oh darn. Dang. Sorry to hear that. I would maybe recommend you can check out their Discord has like a secondhand channel where people buy and sell used Work Louder keyboards and all sorts of stuff, and sometimes people are selling stuff for like a real steal. I know that importing can still be a pain with that, but as far as the price problem goes, you might be able to get away with a pretty cheap Nomad through the Discord, because sometimes people are selling them at a pretty good cost. So I'd recommend checking that out. Just kind of stock that. I think it's called buy sell in the Discord. I can check for you, but yeah, it's called buy sell. And you can find the Discord, I'm sure, somewhere through, socials or on the website and stuff like that. Follow you guys since you guys dropped the 3D render. Yeah, it's been a really cool, long, fun adventure watching this keyboard come to life. And like the fact that the 3D render ended up coming out so nice. Like the shells have this nice like soft feel to it. The keys feel really great. Like everything about it came to life, I think, in like the best way possible. Whereas I know often, a render can be one thing, but then the reality sort of misses. I definitely don't think that's the case at all with the Nomad. Anyone else that's watching quietly, I demand you to tell me where you're watching from. You have to tell me. You have to tell me or else I'll scream. What motivated you to start your company? Jonas, I am purely an illustrator and designer that has a Nomad keyboard. Michael and Mattia are the guys that started the company, so they can answer the question much better than I can. I think they have a couple of videos and like podcasts and stuff like that about why and how they started it. I can kind of speak to it a little bit just from hearing them. I've listened to them a lot, and I know that basically Mattia was designing the keyboard like in some 3D software and just like prototyping it and trying to figure it out without any like huge plans of actually getting it created. And then Michael saw that and started like asking Mattia when he's going to make it, and he was like, I don't actually have a plan of how I can make it. And so Michael like wrote him a business plan to try to like just to get so that he could have the keyboard himself. And then as a result, they ended up becoming really good friends and then basically starting a company together from across the world. Mattia was in, I believe, Italy, and Michael in Canada, and they ended up meeting up and starting a company, and now they've released like, 4 or 5 products together, and they got more on the way. So this doesn't totally answer your question, but give a little insight on how the company started, coming from somebody that doesn't work for the company directly at all. I'm just a designer that uses the keyboard and is streaming on their platform to show it off. I love that you guys did everything to bring it to life. Yeah, it's really cool. If anyone's curious about how the keyboard came to be, you can check out, I think their Instagram has a lot of really great reels, maybe TikTok as well. Lots of cool like videos showing the whole process of from 3D designs and ideas all the way to showing the factories that are making it in a different part. They've been like really transparent through the whole process, and it's been fun and exciting to watch them build all the products. And they've got a new product coming out pretty soon called the Micro V2, which is a version 2 of this little pad. By the way, is this made by an injection mold with a keycap? Man, I think so. I don't know for sure. I want to say it's a yes. I follow pretty closely with all of like their updates and stuff like that, and I feel like I see the words injection mold come up a lot, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. What's the other? What would be the other term other than injection mold? But you can find it. Let's see if we can go to their site real quick. See if we can learn about the keycaps. So I have the MX Alpha key set here, which is currently on sale, and no injection word pops up. Details: graphic, reverse dye, sublimation, material, PBT, stem, MX low profile. Not sure. Not sure, but you can DM the account and Michael will surely answer for you. They're really good at answering their DMs for questions and stuff like that. But keep the questions coming. Sorry I can't answer that one perfectly. Oops. Whoa. Going off the rails here. What's the tablet you're using to draw on? Steph design stuff. The tablet is called Wacom Move Ink, and it's a really nice thin, like really thin. I always love showing it off. But it's called the Wacom Move Ink, and they're really accessible, super like easy to use. Just one USB-C cable goes into my laptop, and then I have drawing capabilities, and it's just mirroring what's on my MacBook right now. I also have the Wacom Cintiq over on my right at the bigger desk, which I probably will stream from soon. But for now, I've just been really loving this little one. They just came out with a couple other new products too that are really exciting, so check them out. Dang, about the macro pad, Logitech did an awful job of copying and doing it the gritty way. Yeah. As somebody that doesn't officially, represent the company, I would agree. That's just my own personal opinion, but yeah. Yeah, Logitech made a similar thing that just doesn't do quite as good of a job and doesn't quite feel as good. But it's nice, it's cool. I don't know. Logitech does some cool stuff for sure. But I agree the timing was a little bit suspicious if I were to get into my conspiracy world. Steph, let me know if you have any other questions about the drawing pad or drawing in general or anything like that. I'm happy to answer questions. Is the audio okay, everybody? Sound loud enough? Can you hear the music in the background or not? I've got some like beep beep boopy music playing. Not right this second, but next song will start. I can turn it up or down accordingly. Because I have the power. I got a volume button. It's crazy. Audio's great. Cool. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Have you used an iPad for this kind of drawing? Debating on getting it. Yeah, I have an iPad right here. I'm gonna look like a spoiled brat, but I've got an iPad that I was drawing on earlier today. Yeah, I don't know. They're two different things to me. I think maybe the Move Ink is like, I don't know how much it is. Maybe it's $700. Let's just say it is. Let's look it up. I think it's like $700, and the iPad, they can get expensive, but an iPad, you're getting an iPad, and you can like watch movies on it, and you can like use Procreate or Fresco, and that's really fantastic. But the Wacom is just like it's one tool for one thing, and it does drawing really, really well, and the iPad does drawing really well, but it's a price thing. So I guess if you want to like use an iPad for an iPad and do all those different types of things, then that works for sure. I don't think you can really go wrong. I'm going to be honest with you. As long as you think you'll use the drawing pad, then you can't really go wrong with an iPad or a Wacom tablet. Wacom, I would say, has more entry points. You can get a cheaper tablet to get started. Whereas an iPad, you kind of got to jump in and get something expensive. But you can always get secondhand stuff too. Like they got secondhand iPads on eBay all the time that are pretty affordable. It's a crazy setup. Yeah, stuff. I'm spoiled. Yeah, I've got 2 Wacom tablets and then my iPad next to me. I do this as full-time career, illustration, animation, stuff like that. So it doesn't feel quite as ridiculous as it seems, but it is a little bit ridiculous. I make content for Wacom sometimes too, so they help me out. I really love that company. I really love this company. I love Work Louder. I love Wacom. And there's some software companies I really love. Trying to keep an eye on chat. Tested them at a computer store, and my god, it's so damn laggy. I'd buy something better than that. Which one are you talking about, Dang? What's laggy? Personally, I prefer Wacom. It's like a secondary screen and also drawing pad. There's some older Wacom selling Facebook Marketplace for like less than $20. Yeah, secondhand is really often the way to go. Especially with like expensive things, because oftentimes I feel like people buy stuff because they're excited about it, and then, you know, a couple years later they realize they never needed it, and then they want to get rid of it. Curious, Dang, what were you talking about being really laggy? Was it like another company drawing tablet? I haven't used any, like there's like the Who one and stuff like that. I haven't used those. So I have, I gotta keep working. I'm always like fussing with my shortcuts and like trying to dial them in. But right now on the micro, I have 4 different layers. So if I tap this, it swaps to like a different profile. And right now I have my ability to switch between screens on it. And I can hide and show my face with this button and do a whole bunch of other stuff. But then if I switch over to, I got a Photoshop layer, I have an Illustrator layer, but my Illustrator layers are set to my F keys, my function keys. And some centering, and some clipping masks and stuff like that, new layers, all that. But I also have these knobs that are like, if I wanted to change the stroke weight of, which one is it? That's opacity, that's undo redo, and then I have stroke weight here connected to these knobs, which is pretty handy, but I don't know if it's the most handy. I'm like always going back and forth of what I want to, like lowering by 10% opacity each step is really cool too, but I'm always changing my mind on what I want my shortcuts to be. Curious what people would set their shortcuts to if they had, and what is everyone working in? Like, which software do you guys work in? Oh, the laggy thing is the Logitech MacroPad. I see, dang. I haven't used it. I'd be curious to try it out, but that makes sense. It's the free gift. We don't know, Steph, what the free gift is yet, but it's nothing. It's nothing too tiny, but it's nothing too crazy. It's I would say it's a small gift from their store. Like, it's not a sticker. It's more than a sticker. I know they've been putting, I don't want to quote and then make anyone disappointed or upset. The idea is, you know, if you're going to buy something, you know, buy it because you want it, not for the gift. But I know they were putting in like mouse pads at certain points, maybe key sets, different things like that. But again, not totally sure, so don't quote me. I don't want anyone disappointed. But like I said, it's not just as simple as a sticker. It's like more than that. And I think it's probably something from their shop. So you can guess and try to get lucky. I'll have the 10 knob. Yeah, dang, I'm curious what software you're using day to day. Same with you, Steph. What would you use the keyboard with if you had one, or when you have one? Let's be wishful. Let's manifest. When you get your keyboard, what are you going to use for software? And then we can talk about what keyboard shortcuts you're going to set up. Sound like a plan? I'm getting so good at talking to myself, getting used to streaming, and being totally comfortable with people leaving the chat while I'm talking to them, and then continuing to talk to myself. Also, is anyone familiar with Pee Wee Herman? Am I like the only one? Am I old? Maybe I'm a boomer? Dang says, if I pick one of those, I'd set it up for DaVinci Resolve and Lightroom. Cool. I just got into DaVinci Resolve. I'm like still sort of towing the line between Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve, and I really love Resolve. but I think maybe I'm like not as, I don't need all of the features that it provides sometimes, so it's like a little bit more complicated than I need, but it's so much better than other like Premiere for me. But Final Cut Pro is just so simple, and I don't do like a ton of fancy editing, so I'm still trying to be convinced one way or the other. But I guess if you were using Resolve, you probably have like zoom in and out of timeline, undo, redo, I don't know. What tools would you look to map to the knobs? What's like the most creative way you could use the knobs, do you think? Can you guys hear the music in the background? Final Cut is still the king. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm not like behind by using Final Cut. Final Cut's just so fast. It's ridiculous how fast it is. It's like, it just renders so quickly and so simple. I should probably show some of my work at some point so that people know what the heck we're doing, but I guess you can see it here. Zooming in a timeline. Oh, and slide. Yeah, sliding is clever. I realize. Yeah, good thinking. I don't know why I didn't think of sliding, but I would definitely want to do that. I feel like I'm like constantly trying to zoom in and out and slide around on my timeline. I don't use, I haven't set up my shortcuts for video editing quite yet because I'm just not like that. I don't video edit often and I'm not super good at it yet, so I don't have a ton of preferences. So I'm like genuinely like open to opinions and thoughts on it, but I think sliding around would be really great. And of course zooming in and out. Also maybe like what is it called? Like when you like slide a clip, like it's like the Y tool I think in Final Cut, but like yeah, being able to slide a clip around would be good too. Maybe that's what you're saying. Oh no, you're saying timeline slide. I think also like sliding clips. Whoa, giant ant is on my desk. Go away. I've got a lot of ants crawling around on my desk right now. I feel like something's not right. Alright, we're gonna draw some snakes. Let's see. I'm just gonna do strokes and then expand the strokes. This camera a little bit. That's Product is just crazy smooth with silicon chips. I'm using an M1 Pro MacBook and it's great. Too bad I have a colleague using Resolve, so I made a switch. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's so well optimized for the Apple Silicon. It's it's so fast. I'm working on an M1 Max as well, and I'm just like waiting for it to get too old, but it is just holding up really strong, like 4 or 5 years later. So I'm gonna hold out for a while. Thinking probably I'll enter around M6 is my guess. I don't think I'll get a 5. I'm thinking 6 is where I'm gonna probably make the upgrade, but maybe not. Who knows? But I've been getting into like a little bit more video editing and a little bit more 3D rendering slowly. So I think eventually I could benefit from a little more power. But so far, I'm pretty solid with my M1. Color grading on the knob sound. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, color grading with the knob would be neat. Also, dang, you should check out or let's do it together. Have you seen the Micro V2? Where is it? The Framer Micro. This knob is like extra fancy and special now, where it has like clicks and all different places that you can go with it. And I haven't tried it yet because it's not out yet, but I'm really excited to try this out and try to find a way to like make it super productive. I think especially in things like video editing, maybe in Illustrator, certainly in Photoshop, and also just like in like Finder. I feel like just even folders and stuff like that, it could be really helpful to use. So I'm looking forward to playing around with this when it comes out, and I think people are going to be able to do some really cool stuff with it. Snakes are almost done. Let's do some lettering. It's nice, it's so helpful for a lazy dude like me. I always want to map all my shortcuts to something. Yeah, sometimes I get overwhelmed because I want to map every shortcut to something, and then I'm trying to, like for a while I was just using just the micro and trying to map all of my Illustrator shortcuts to it with like a shift key and like being able to get like multiple uses out of keys and stuff, and it was just, I was trying to get too much out of it. For something like Photoshop, I can really get away with just using the micro, which is fun because it's so like clicky. But in Illustrator, I need my keyboard, and then I just use this for extras. For something like Final Cut, I think I can get away with putting all of my shortcuts here and being able to just like work with just that. I think especially with the V2 of the micro, it'll let us get that much more bang for our buck, so to speak. Do you do a lot of video editing, Dang? Make a group. Let's make this blue just for now so we can see it better. Purple. I don't know, but I found a crazy similarity between you guys and Teenage Engineering. Yeah, for sure. I think that's high praise, good compliment. Teenage Engineering is great. I think both drawing a lot of inspiration from a lot of like German and Swiss designers and industrial designers and stuff like that too helps. Salt Bass maybe, and Dieter Ram, if that's how you even pronounce his name. Dieter Ram? I just saw I've been trying to convince myself into buying like the OP1, the Teenage Engineering OP1. Like I don't do anything musical, but I I feel like I could use a synth and like be able to just like tinker and play around with it, even though I really don't know the first thing about creating music. But it's just so beautiful. I want it on my desk, and maybe having it on my desk would help me, I don't know, explore my creativity more in the synth world. Just for clients, for marketing agency that I work for. Okay. Well, at least you're like working in a creative program day to day. It's still like better than a lot of jobs, I think. Like just being able to video edit for work feels like it's better than, yeah. For me personally, better than what some other tasks could be. I just feel really grateful that I get to just kind of sit at a desk and make things for a living. Even when my back hurts. Thinking about doing a TikTok or YouTube channel for tech stuff, audio file stuff. Ooh, cool. My only advice to that is get going. Think less and do more. Would you focus on like more like high quality, high end stuff, or like budget sort of stuff? Like I think like the Teenage Engineering, again, I'm not super well versed in Teenage Engineering, but like that's like kind of high quality stuff, right? Or at the very least I know it's highly priced. I'm curious if those tools work as well as they look, because I know they look amazing. I wonder if there's like any like, but I have a lot of music friends that say they are as awesome as they look too. But I'm curious your insights. The OP1? Oh, right, yeah, sorry, not the OP1. You are correct. What am I thinking of? Well, I'm not even going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But they have one that's like more of like a meaty, synthy kind of thing, right? If I wanted to just get into like silly, fun synth, very hobby style, what would I get? I saw this company the other day that I was liking. Let's see if I can find it. See if you know anything about it. Also, to be fair, I totally like, yeah, I feel like the color that I chose feels very Teenage Engineering-y. Let's see, what was I looking for? It was, oh yeah, this Noise Inc. Do you know about this thing? It seemed pretty cool. Gamma Mini Synth. This little beep boop robot thing. Make all sorts of cool synth noises. Again, I know nothing about audio stuff really, but, or I know nothing about audio instruments, but it seemed pretty cool. I'd love for Work Louder to keep making more things that are even more than just keyboards. I know they always like are asked about making a mouse or mice, and I don't know anything about it, but I'd be excited for pretty much anything that they make. I lost chat. Where is it? I saw someone near my place listing it for less than $100. Ooh, we got an order, Sam. What's up, Sam? I'm writing down your order number. What'd you get, Sam? You don't have to answer, but I'm curious. But also I wrote down your order number, so I'll pass that along to Michael. So as long as it hasn't shipped yet, I'll make sure we get something over there for you. Oh, 1,000. All right, that makes more sense then. I was gonna say, wow. What's up, Sam? I get a framer keyboard. Hell yeah! Nice, sick. That's great. I am really excited to get mine whenever it comes out. I saw Michael in his Instagram stories today was saying that they got a new package with like some of the parts and stuff like that. I think he's going to be maybe streaming this week, like an unboxing of some of the parts that came from the factories and stuff. So I'm really excited to see that. So I'm also very excited for you to get yours. Sam, I passed your order number along to Michael. We'll see what we can do for you, and let's hope that everything goes smooth with the launch of the framer keyboard and you get yours soon. I have no idea when it's coming out, but I know it's moving along quickly. They're working on so many different things, it's crazy. But awesome, thanks for the order, and thanks for the order number. Sam, if you're still in the live, no pressure, but what are you going to use it for? What do you work in typically? Design, maybe? All right, we're ready to bring color into this illustration, I think, soon. Be patient but excited. Yeah, Sam, that's basically the world that we're in, of like patience but excitement. I was so excited for my Nomad when I was waiting for it, and I was like waiting and waiting and waiting, and there was like a little delay, and I was trying to be so patient, and I was being good, but it's tough to be patient sometimes. Alright, let's grab a color palette, bring some color into this little doodad, get my swatches up. I feel like swatches could be a keyboard shortcut for me, but maybe not. I already have a bunch of color palettes that I sort of use and reuse so often that I have them in here. Let's do this. Yeah, yellow, a dark color. We need a contrasting color. Yeah, we do a black. Why not? The brown is a black. Let's get a light color. That'll work. Let's start there. And Sam, CEO of a ticketing software company that builds lots of internal client-facing sites. Oh, there you go. I love framers, so I'm pumped with all the shortcuts. Currently using a different device for shortcuts, and it's okay, but not perfect for my flow. This Raycast shortcuts like a maniac, so I'm excited. Yeah. I just got Raycast like last year, Sam. I was using Alfred forever and ever, I feel like I'm not using Raycast to its full potential, but like it just magically sort of integrates with everything, and like if you don't think about it, it just works. And then every once in a while I see like a new feature that it's working for, of like grabbing a color hex or something. So I'm really into Raycast, but I feel like I could be turbocharging it more. And I thought about rebuilding my site in Framer once, but I just got too intimidated, so I'm still in Squarespace, but Framer seems awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for you to, one, get it, and two, maybe hopefully keep everybody updated on how you are using it. I think that's another cool thing about Work Louder, is like the community aspect of people coming up with ideas of how they use their tools and then kind of like open sourcing that a little bit. Like I wrote a little simple, silly script for me to be able to, I mean hardly, but like be able to, what am I doing? Up and down on my strokes in Illustrator, which is really nice, just because there's like not a built-in keyboard shortcut for it, so having that is nice. Then I have stepping up and down my opacity on another one, and then obviously undo and redo on the other, which I don't, as much as undo and redo on this feels awesome, like it's a cool idea, I don't use it as much as I should. I think what I'm going to actually do is have it be forward and backward, like layers, to have it go up and back down. Be happy to document and chronicle your use case. Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, I would love for you to do that. I want to try to like finally, I started like really trying to get serious about my shortcuts recently, because I'm a little bit stubborn and like kind of an old dog now. But I want to turbocharge my shit a bit, so I'm trying. Just need a gray for Pee-wee, and then I need a flesh tone. Let's get Pee-wee's flesh tone over here. Something like that, or a little more warm, maybe. Yeah, let's give him like a pink face. Help cheeks. I'm gonna make a copy of it up here and start fresh. Here we go. With a few macros in Keyboard Maestro, so this was super helpful. Keyboard Maestro. Oops, what I meant to say is Keyboard Maestro. Okay. I get it. Oh, man, I used to be like all over this type of stuff. I feel like I'm just getting older and like falling behind. Or maybe I shouldn't blame age. Maybe I'm getting busier. But I used to be like so proud of all of my like shortcuts and like just turbo hack speed things and stuff. Like I used to use spaces all the time and switching between spaces, and I feel like lately I can just hardly keep up. And maybe that's a good thing, I don't know, but I want to get back to like being more on top of it, or at least knowing what the software is, like knowing what Keyboard Maestro is. Feels so out of touch. For your silly raycast extension, oh, his message is cool. The one-time password page is great. So many sites require. Oh, my favorite silly raycast extension is messages. I don't. Okay, let me look at Raycast messages integration. I'm gonna look into that soon. Oh, interesting. Damn. Oh, that's great. Okay, Sam, thank you. I'm gonna. Well, we'll just install it now. I'm not gonna play with it right now, but oh, that's so handy. What other ones do you have, Sam? Tell me more Raycast stuff. I use AI to help document my flows, and so shortcuts is helpful. Smart, Sam. Sam, you're smart. You're helping me out already. You're helping everybody out in the chat. There's a reason why that work. Louder macropad. Yeah, there you go. Sam is like selling these things more than I can. That's great. Yeah, I'm curious, Sam. I mean, like. Like this macro pad has 4 different layers that I can toggle between. Like if I set to this one, I can toggle between, this stuff and have this pop up and show up. And then similarly, like here, I can switch blah, blah, blah. And then my other, the other layer I'm using a lot is basically just having a bunch of like Pathfinder stuff. So, if I have these two and I want to like union them, I have that. I can undo and do minus front. All my Boolean stuff I have set to these 4. Then I've got clipping mask stuff, centering if I want to. Sometimes I want to center like 2 objects together, so I have that one. I have the array, which I gotta use more of, and then I don't even remember what this is. Oh, this is like a crazy thing that is not important to talk about right now, but it's like a crazy graphic style. But yeah, I have those there, and then so many of my other keyboard shortcuts are here. But I guess like, yeah, I'm always battling like, okay, I need shortcuts for like Mac OS, and then any shortcuts for all of my different softwares. Photoshop, and then it's like, if I'm doing Photoshop, am I doing Photoshop photo editing, or am I doing Photoshop like frame by frame animation? And then so I need different shortcuts for that. I'm like always, I feel like I'm just thinking, it's like a lifelong pursuit of like thinking about productivity, I guess, maybe. Let's get Pee-wee's gray in here. There we go. That changes everything. And I want to have a little more chroma. Just try to see what we can get away with in terms of like a little more purpley. That's nice. I still feel like nobody knows who Pee Wee Herman is. I was watching the HBO documentary last night and got inspired to doodle him. Fire. Fire's gonna be orange. Orange is so similar to my flesh tone. Maybe we'll pale him up a little bit more. Yellow him a little bit. There we go. That feels better. Yeah, that feels better. Way better. There we go. Still have the palm of the hand be that color. Or even that color. Yeah, let's do that. And then just give a little line here. Everything's temporary in Illustrator until we decide it's not. So for now, I'm just figuring out my shapes, blocking in really basic colors. See if we can get a green in here. That's probably gonna be a little bit hardcore. Let's Skillshare green. We'll make these snakes better later too. Your art is sick, very inspiring. Thanks, Sam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I realized I should like have a little GIF of something I made like in the corner while I'm streaming so people can know what I make. Especially at the beginning, it's like ugly and you're like, what is this clown doing? But if I could show a little bit more of what I usually make, then it would be helpful. Maybe I'll open a file. Let's see what I've been working on lately. I don't want to leak client things I shouldn't. Here's what we drew last week. Ugh, it's still not finished though, so it's not really, it's also not inspiring. That was what we were drawing last week on the stream. Let's see. Here's a little project that I've been working on for a long time. This avatar builder for a kid's product. So like all these different swappable clothes, hats, accessories, hairs, skin colors. We're building it out in Rive, so you can like create all these different characters. This is a really fun project. I'm enjoying a lot. Eventually I want to be able to like rig up this night. We're rigging it all in Rive. Hopefully it'll start moving soon, but still learning Rive. Let me get back to where I was. Here we go. Back to Pee-wee. That's why I like Raycast so much. Almost every app I use is a Raycast extension. Then with Raycast you can do. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna spend like an evening one night. That's the thing for me to do is like just like at nighttime spend a couple hours playing around, and I'm gonna try to get into Raycast a little bit more. Because I've been using it for like a year. I feel like I'm not using it to its full potential at all. But at the same time, it works really well for just like replacing Spotlight. And like I said, I used Alfred forever, and like I felt like I was pretty good at using Alfred. But then I just switched over to Raycast. Yeah, Rive has been, it's sick. It's not its fault. It's just, I feel like as I get a little bit older, maybe it's a little bit more tricky for me to learn new software or something, but, so I think Rive is really good. And I am definitely struggling with learning it a little bit. But I guess it just takes time too. I'm expecting to be really good at it really quickly, and that's just silly. So, I will continue the battle and the pursuit. Sam, are all the sites that you're building in Framer? Raycast sub is really nice too. Okay, cool. Good. All right, I'm gonna become a Raycast guy. I already am. I gotta become a legitimate Raycast guy. Color blocking. Just getting an idea of colors, and we'll get into details in a little bit. Let's see, his lapels are like, okay, those are the same color, so let's just do them like this. Maybe? Maybe? Maybe not? I'll definitely do a shirt in here white, if I can find it. White. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Did he even have buttons? Yeah, they're just like white. But we can sheet that. We can make them black. Why not? We're in charge here. Nobody even knows what this movie is anymore, so I can do whatever I want. I gotta group these. This is annoying. There we go. Group. Summon Framer, but I've leaned heavily into the Next.js stack. Okay, cool. Because the AI is so good at coding those. Yeah, it is kind of crazy, right? You can just like have. I was trying to have AI. I end up using like ChatGPT to do like little silly. Because like I'm not a programmer anymore. I went to school for computer science like a long time ago, and used to take a lot of pride in like building my own little scripts and stuff like that. But not anymore. And so I'll just like ask ChatGPT to be like, hey, can you make like this button, like when I hover over it, have it like raise up and also like make a shine go through it and make it blobby or whatever. And then it like does a bad job and I'm like, do it more like this, more like this, more like this. And then we workshop it together and me and the robot figure it out. But it is pretty cool to be able to work on some of those things. Especially those things are like, those are not anything I'm gonna like hire anyone to do anyway, just because I am always gonna fuss my way through it. So it feels good to just have the robot take care of it. I had it build me a really cool little CSS like hover effect. I wonder if I can find it. Let me dig for a second. I'll dig off on my other screen so I don't embarrass myself with anything weird. I was like having it like do these. What was I doing? I was trying to make it give me these like CSS hover effects that were like gooey and stuff the other day. I don't even know if you can see this on stream. Oh, you can't see anything on the stream. What happened? Oh god, I'm back. I don't know what happened to my thing. Hold on. Camera must have died. Did it overheat? Hang on. Do we get a dead battery? What do we do here? Battery must have died. We're back. Wonder how long that was gone. Here's my little hover I was talking about. Alright, let's get back to drawing. Camera's back. I feel like maybe it overheated. It's getting warm in the studio. If it does it again, I'll throw a fan on it. I'm also realizing the humidifier is a little bit loud. Hang on. One sec. Without the humidifier running, or dehumidifier rather. We're so back. Low profile keyboard is also being more appeal to the public. Yeah, low profile is 100% what I would prefer. Like I don't want like a, oh damn, this keyboard, I mean this camera died again. All right, let me get, let me throw a fan on this little baby. Hang on one second, everyone. I got all my camera stuff in here. The stream just went from a keyboard stream to a tech troubleshooting stream. What do we have here? I got a box full of just like random camera stuff. This might be it. camera you're using for this? The color and the detail look nice. I'm using a Sony A6700 with a Viltrox 23mm. It's a crop sensor, so the 23 is probably more like a 40 or something. This might work. But yeah, it is really nice. Feature is really good. Small UI stuff. Oh damn, Sam, you know everything. And I don't mean that in a facetious way. I'm just like, hey Annika, what's up? We got a dead camera that we're working on replacing the battery on. And we're drawing Pee Wee Herman. We were, until we got distracted with this. Let me see if I can resurrect this camera. Nice thing about the studio is I have like plugs everywhere. That was the one thing I really made sure that I wanted to have when I built the studio out. Was like power plugs all over the place. So let's tap into it. Power. And try to get this camera going. It might be a heat issue though, so if that's the case, then I got a little fan that I can throw on it that might help keep it cooler. Bear with me, everyone. There's a technical difficulties screen, but I don't think it's necessary. I think everybody wants to watch me troubleshoot, so we're gonna do that. Did I design my studio? Kinda, yeah. It was a real piece of shit, like workshop before when we moved in. It was like real. It was just like, I'll try to find a picture so I can show you, but it was like a mess. And so I really like redid a lot of it. In fact, I redid like 90% of it. I'll show you. Hang on one sec. Alright, we're plugged in. Let's see if the camera is happier with us now. Here we go. Vibe is so cozy. Love that. Thank you, everyone. Of course, see the troubleshoot anyway. Cool, covering water. I'm happy to hear it. Alright. Looks like we might be back. It might overheat, and if it does, I'll toss the fan on it. You catch back up on chat. Studio's like, no, it's must be a fun place to work. Thank you. Yeah, the studio's really nice. It's like an old barn. I'm in a big barn, and then yeah, back there it was like a horse barn. And then like right out here I have like the doors that can open out to the outside. It's really beautiful. I'm really grateful for my space. Let's see if I can find. We'll get back to keyboard talk soon, but I'll try to find a quick picture so I can show you the before and after, because I think you'll like it. Pull up my photos. Hopefully, let's see, favorites. I'm going to show you a photo of the studio space before it was finished, when we moved in, what it looked like. Here we go. I'll just grab it into Illustrator so I can show you. So this is the studio space. Oh, this is not helpful for you to see. Here we go. Oop. This was the studio space before. You can see it was like a real mess when we moved in. So I ended up hanging up a bunch of drywall, pulling down all of the shelves that they had, pulling up this heater, redoing all of the insulation in the ceiling, putting up drywall in the ceiling, pulling all this carpet, finding a floor underneath, sanding the floor, polishing the floor. Yeah, it's a totally different space now. And now, let me see if I can find a cute photo of it. Although, of course, you can see it right now, but yeah, this is like what it turned into. Something a lot nicer. So really happy with the, and I did it 1,000,000% myself, and I have no idea what I was doing. What an upgrade! Yeah. Sam, I am near Portland, Maine. I'm assuming you were maybe saying Portland, Oregon, but I'm up in Maine. I'm like a half hour west of Portland, Maine. thanks everybody. If you have questions about the studio, it's one of my favorite things in the world to talk about. Thanks for bearing with me while that little technical difficulty hiccup popped up, but we troubleshooted it. I think the battery was just like so low, and it was like trying to charge. I had it like tethered through USB-C, and I think it was like just not quite able to keep up, so it was dying sometimes. This is a great example where I can make my stroke smaller depending on how big I want the eyebrows to be. Seems like a nice place for a vinyl collection. Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, I've got a record player, my dad's old record player here with some really nice bookshelf speakers hung up. And then I also just got some new Sonos speakers for the computer stuff. Spoiled, but I love my gizmos. Maybe it's gonna be my second guess. Sam, I can't believe that. Yeah. Well, I guess the barn maybe helped give it away. Is that what it was? The horse barn? Like, I guess you don't have many horse barns in California, so that would definitely eliminate some guessing. Where's everybody else tuning in from? I don't know about this lip. Also, do I show teeth? I don't think I do. Let's see. Let's see if teeth look good. Oh, also, this just happened. I gotta show you. This is like my favorite thing ever about the keyboard. Also, the other thing is I helped design this little like keyboard Tamagotchi character that we put on the screen. So this is how Worklouder and I really came to become friends, is they asked me to help out with this little character. And the great thing is every time you push shift, she crouches down. Bear with me, this is so backwards and difficult to... We'll get focused, nice. So she crouches down, and then when you go caps lock, which I disabled caps lock on a lot of my shortcuts. Where's my caps lock? Hold on, maybe it's in this one. Oh, am I gonna embarrass myself? Caps lock. You can customize this keyboard so much that I disabled caps lock on so many of the things because I never use it, and I swap it out for another one. Where is it? Alright, we'll jump to our next trick anyway. And then as you type, if you type faster, it keeps track of your words per minute. And then as you start typing fast, she starts running. So it's really fun. And she screams when you have caps lock on. I disabled caps lock on like all of my profiles because I never use it. But I can show you how to remap it. Let's do that. So they have software called Input. That's their own software. And this is how you can map. So I have these different, I have Mac OS, and then I also have Illustrator. And this one should be, I have it set to a multi, which basically is just if I tap it, it gives me the tilde key because there's no tilde on the keyboard, so I needed to map it to caps lock. And if I hold it, it gives me tilde. If I tap and hold, it locks. That's what it is. So if I tap and hold, then caps lock is on, and then she screams once she focuses. And it will focus. I will force it to focus. Come on, Sony a6700. There she is. See, she's yelling. Maybe I can turn down the exposure a little bit too. There you go. Alright. That was a long detour. North to south of Portland, Maine. I was out in Booth Bay, Harbor area. I don't know Booth Bay, Sam, but I'm probably like south and west would be my guess. Yeah, just a little bit south and generally west. So cute. It's nice. Thanks, everybody. Raycast says hyperkey. So I map caps lock to hyperkey, which is Command Shift Control. Oh, all right. Hold on. I'm making another note for hyperkey. Sam, you're helping me out, but you're also giving me homework, which is genuinely great. Raycast hyperkey. We'll dig into that later too. All right, let me turn off caps lock. Let's get back to drawing. When we make an ISO layout version, I believe, hold my beer, let's check the website, but I think that there is an ISO. So I don't work directly for the company, just streaming using their keyboard. But if I'm not mistaken, and I could very well be mistaken, but I think they have they're with dual layout ISO. Yeah, so they have ISO for UK, Italy, Denmark, or is that German? Yeah, German, French, Nordic, Italian, Spanish. So they have ISO layouts for a decent amount. Check it out on their site. And I believe the Knob 1 that's going to be coming out soon also has some ISO layouts. So check it out. Not for all models they have. Okay. Well, when will you make an ISO layout versions? Well, we have some, I guess would be the answer to that question. But you can always DM us or DM the Work Louder account and let us know which ones you're looking for in particular, because Work Louder genuinely listens to all of that stuff, and it would be helpful for us to know what it is you're looking for exactly. Sam, you're not distracting. You're totally like helping so much with the stream. I really appreciate it. Just teasing, which I think you know, but I really like am excited to dig into some of that stuff later. Not distracting, or at least not distracting in a negative way. Little shadow. The effort for this keyboard is a huge one. Respect to the design, admire the software. Thanks, Thang. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I think I might do the bags on the eyes like that. Does anyone know this character, or is it just me? I grew up on Pee-wee. Pee-wee's Playhouse, anybody? Also, is the music coming through in the background? I just have little plinky video game music playing, but I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. I had my eye on the knob keyboard, but now to see the Tamagotchi thing. Yeah, she has a name. Her name is Nomi. N-O-M-I. And she's inspired by Mattia's daughter. Not in name, but just like we came up with this whole story and like this lore that we're still like hoping to expand on and stuff too, but Mattia has a child that was like kind of inspiring the design and stuff like that. We worked on it quite a bit. Let me see if I can pull up some of the early designs that I can show you some of the stuff. Nomi process. But yeah, her name is Nomi. And yeah, she's a selling point for sure. The knob is really cool and I want it, but the Nomad with Nomi, I mean, I had to have it, right? Because I helped out with it. But yeah, here was some like early tests and ideas we had for it that I was experimenting with, like this cool dithered bit, playing around with some of their shapes from the logo and stuff like that. Yeah, this is like part of the process, just like having this like spirit in the keyboard and all these different ideas. Had some story stuff, some exploration on like different moods and attitudes that maybe we'll explore a little bit in the future too. And obviously like it came down to this idea of like using some of their shape language and bringing in some like spiritual, or not spiritual, but like spirit like shapes. And then the, Unicode ASCII art that we all grew up on, like talking through these things and then kind of mashing it all together and getting Nomi. So that's how he came up with that character. Or that's a very, very, very abbreviated way of how he came up with that character. Thank you for sharing the early work. So cool to see it together. Thanks. Oh, okay. You know Pee-wee. Good, Sam. I thought I was crazy. I was raised on Rugrats and Power Rangers. He was just slightly before my time. Yes, we can hear this. All right, cool. Yeah, I agreed. Pee-wee was before my time, but my dad was really into Pee-wee. Or my dad was really into Pee-wee, like, with us. Like, I don't think he was, like, watching Pee-wee by himself a bunch as, like, an older person. But he thought it was, like, a really cool Pee-wee's Playhouse he really liked watching with his kids. and so I kind of grew up on Pee-wee incidentally. And then like Pee-wee's Big Adventure movie. When did that, I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I feel like came out at a reasonable. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. When did that come out? Oh, 85. Damn, before I was born. Never mind. I was watching this often when I was a kid. Like a lot. I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But yeah, Rugrats is. I think probably Hey Arnold, Rugrats, and I mean by default Rocket Power. I don't think Rocket Power is really that great of a show, to be honest, but I loved it just because I loved skateboarding and extreme sports, and it was like crazy that there was an extreme sports cartoon show. But I think Rugrats and Hey Arnold were definitely my favorite things growing up. And I didn't have the Disney Channel growing up. We just didn't have it. So it was all Nickelodeon for me. Born in 2005. It's the kind of Disney Channel kid. Dang, we are worlds apart in age, and that's cool. But like, whoa, I was born in 88. Having a day for her, if she found a spelling error, she could be shaking like cold. That would be cool. Spelling error would be crazy. I like that. I like the idea of like a little meditation too, like in the morning or something. She could like help you breathe. I like that idea. And then also, like, I don't know if you're listening to music, like it could have like a little head bob, like listening. There's a lot of different cool ideas that we want to implement. It just everything is difficult to implement. It's like making stuff is hard. But they really did a good job implementing Nomi into the keyboard on this one. And the keyboard only came out like I don't know, 6 months ago or something. So there's like it's still so much more to have happen. It's been really fun following the journey. Forgot about Rocket Power. Harold was great too. Yeah, Doug was huge for me. I love Doug a lot. I recently rewatched Doug. Like, I don't know, it was probably like 10 years ago, but I watched it like from beginning to end. Except like not the ABC version, where like Patty had like short buzz cut hair. But I did rewatch it, and I do still really enjoy it. I don't know if it necessarily holds up today, but it holds up for somebody that's nostalgic for it. I did a YouTube drawing, you can watch on my YouTube channel if you want, of me drawing Hey Arnold characters, and it was really fun. It's a cute, funny little video. And then I also drew Real Monsters on my YouTube channel as well, which like I didn't really like Real Monsters, but a lot of people were requesting it, so I drew it. I didn't hate it. I don't know. I always liked like real life stuff when I was a kid. Like that's why Hey Arnold was so great, and even Rugrats because it was like humans. When it got too fantastical, it kind of always lost me. And I never liked Cat Dog. Just like unnecessary shade at Cat Dog, but I don't know. I just never liked it. Probably stream until 9:30, just so that everyone knows. So probably about 30 more minutes, just over, which will probably get us to the end of this illustration. And then we're streaming pretty frequently. It seems like a couple times a week. Different artists and creators and stuff are streaming on the channel. I'll probably stream again maybe mid or the end of this coming week. We'll see. We might try to figure out a horizontal stream as well, especially for like YouTube. But Annika in the chat is a content creator that's been streaming as well. It's been really fun. And then we've got a guy named Dave, who is like a video editor that's been streaming. He's really entertaining too. But I'll still be here for half hour or so, but just want to give people the heads up. We had very similar taste. I was born in 89. I hear about Earl Monsters. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like those shows were just like kind of whack to me. It was like not, they weren't real enough. Like Rocko's Modern Life, I was always somewhere in between. Like in hindsight, I think it was awesome and I loved it. In the time, kind of liked it, but kind of didn't. I was always like in between on Rocko. But looking back at it, I do like Rocko a lot. I think I can move the camera back a little bit from when I did the battery. But yeah, Rocket Power is just like a gift from heaven, like being like fully into skateboarding and like rollerblading and BMX at that time and snowboarding, and like it feels like it came out like at the perfect time. I just could not believe that there was a TV show about extreme sports that was also like fun and cool too. That just like really blew my mind. But I've watched some of the episodes since, and like, man, Otto was such a bad person. Just like a terrible, terrible person. Which I guess was the point, but like as a kid, I thought Otto was like the coolest ever, and I was supposed to look up to him, but little did I realize he's a real piece of shit. There's like one episode where he literally like gets sponsored by like his father's competition like snow rental shop and like takes the sponsorship. Like he's the most tone deaf child ever. Are You for the Dick was also stuff. Yeah, Are You for the Dick was nuts. I that's another one that I rewatched maybe like 10, 15 years ago, like in my kind of more adult years, but that was really fun. I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark. I tried to rewatch Goosebumps and it's really bad. And like horribly, like, I don't know, R.L. Stine seemed to have like some serious like misogyny like deeply embedded in it. Like every episode is about like his like sister who was such a jerk, and it's like, what happened to you, man? But yeah, Goosebumps was really great. Some of them are spooky. There's like one where there's like little boys outside just like saying "I'm cold" over and over and over again, and it's spooky. Also, Are You for the Dark like had a lot of people in it that went on to become people, like Canadian actors. Like what's his name? Ryan Gosling was on Are You for the Dark. I think there's like a couple other actors that went on to become like kind of a big deal through Are You for the Dark. Fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think I read every single Goosebumps book, but I haven't watched any of the show. Yeah, the books I never read, but I would always rent them from like the school library or whatever because I thought the covers were so cool. But I don't think I ever read a single one because I like basically didn't know how to read as a child and like still kind of don't. But loved the covers. Like I remember like Tower of Terror with like the cool henchman with like the axe or like some sort of blade and being really into it. But like literally never reading them. And then watching the show was like not that great. But the books were sick to have, and like some of them had like the bumpy covers, like the Goosebumps was like embossed or whatever. That was so cool. Alright, it's time to get to a part where I don't want to deal with, and it's these snakes, because these are not well designed snakes, and I need to do a little bit more than just this. I might use this. I have this plugin for Illustrator called like Reprofile from Astute Graphics, and that could be really fun. Let's see. I gotta find it first. I don't use it very often. Yeah, Reprofile. So I can reprofile, and I think I can just pull out. Oh, geez. Alright, this is more than I wanted. What do I want to do? I want to like make it thicker and thinner in areas. Oh, reform? Maybe I want to reform it. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I want to reform it. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. How do I do this? I haven't used this tool. I want to reform, make it thick in areas and thin in other areas. I guess. I don't even know what snakes look like, and I'll be damned if I look at a reference. Let's do that and apply it. Let's make the neck a little bit bigger. Oh, we can do it like that. Thin, and then let's go thicker here. Alright, let's try that. Oh, and let's put it like a big bump in its belly or something. Like it ate something. Apply. It's just gonna... no, I don't want to reform. That's what I don't want to do. I do want to reprofile it. Maybe I'm too young, but the only thing I know about the 90s, 80s is Michael Jackson and Star Wars. That's so interesting and funny. Just like the different worlds. Dang. Yeah, Star Wars was 70s and then early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. And then Michael Jackson. I guess Michael Jackson was like the 80s and 90s. That's that's funny. Those are the only things you know. Oh no. Well, you must know more. Well, I think I can get you into what else. I don't know what else you might know from the 80s or 90s. You don't know any of the cartoons we're talking about? Not even Rugrats? That's crazy. That's not what I want to do. What do I want to do? How do I want to do this? I don't know how to reset. You guys are going to watch me struggle with this for a minute. I could just use the width tool. Yeah, maybe I just do that for now. This will work. Just want to make it a little bit more dynamic. Like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Skinny tail? Yeah, let's do a real skinny tail. Thicken it out a little bit here. We'll still put that bump in its tummy to tell a story. What does a snake head look like, though? We might have to get a reference. Uh-oh. I don't want to make a reference at all. I think this is better. We'll give it an eye. If I can get away without using a reference, I always will. And we need a slithery tongue. There we go. We did it, I think. Let's get our stroke up. Oh, I love that feature. My favorite thing about this keyboard, I think, right now is my stroke being able to go up and down with this. Up and down. Could be Kiss, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Anita Baker. Okay, yeah, Kiss. I guess you're right. I'm not laughing at you, dang. I'm laughing at the world. It's just like, it's, you know, you're a kid, and then you're not a kid anymore, and then you think the world revolves around you, and then you realize, like, damn, nobody knows about my childhood anymore because you grow up. And then you sound like an old person when you were a kid that are like, nobody listens to good music anymore, or whatever. It's funny, we all get old. Not old, I mean, yeah, we do all get old. I don't feel old, I feel like I'm not a child anymore. I still feel like a kid. Sometimes I realize I'm not a kid. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I guess I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm having a midlife crisis on stream. Bear with me. As I draw Pee Wee Herman. Something that nobody knows anymore. Oh no! This is a rattletail. Rattlesnake. Yeah, music does really, like, I think music is the first thing that pulled me back in time when I was younger. I feel like when I was like 12, 13, I was listening to older music. Like because older TV shows usually kind of suck. Older movies, I mean, they can be good, but they're kind of like boring as like a younger person. But I feel like older music holds up so well that it's like a great way to be like reintroduced to an era or whatever, like you're saying with like Kiss and stuff like that. It's interesting. I'm gonna give this snake like bumps like this, I guess. I don't know anything about snakes. My music is literally just like a scary song right now, just like screaming red alert. Let me go ahead and change that. It's stressing me out. Oh, I've got a media key over here. So if I want to set up, Sam, I gotta say bye to you. Hold on. I have to run. I'm so glad I got the stream. Yeah, Sam, I'm so glad. I got your order number, and let me go. I'm gonna quadruple check that I'm just gonna screenshot your order number again. I already pasted it somewhere, but I don't want to lose it, so I'm gonna super duper make sure I have it. Here we go. Sam, Bounce, go ahead. Follow me on X. Feel free to DM. Yeah, cool. Yeah, follow me on X, and then I might follow up with you through Instagram, whatever. I'm rarely on there, but I'm on there enough for you to grab me. And so sick. Nice to meet you, Sam. Thanks for being around. Thanks for hanging. And congrats on getting the Framer Micro. We're excited about it. Yakima, what keyboard is that? This is the Nomad E by Work Louder, which is the account in which you are probably watching this live stream from. And I am streaming, just showing off the features, showing off how I use the different knobs in Adobe Illustrator and the buttons and stuff like that. And yeah, if you have any other questions about it, please feel free. I'm also using the Creator Micro here, which has a bunch of different hotkeys set up to it. Keyboard name. The keyboard name, let me show you here. Yakima. The keyboard is the Work Louder Nomad E here on worklouder.cc. Nomad E. It's right here. I have it in the chalk colorway here, but I also have the Atomic Purple, which is really beautiful. And then I'm going to be getting the Graphite, which is black, soon as well. Lots of cool pictures about it. Check it out. Let me know if you have other questions. I'm gonna grab a darker green. There we go. Are you a graphic designer? Yeah, I am. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, animator. I work full-time independently for the last 10 years. I work mostly in Illustrator, After Effects, Photoshop, a little bit of Figma sometimes. Trying to finish drawing these snakes, which I don't feel like doing, but I have to because I started it. Glad I get to know. Still digging old pieces of music. There's so much. Yeah, and there's like an infinite world of music, dang. It's crazy. You just get into music for the rest of your life and you'd still never catch up, I feel like. There's some cool stuff coming out now too, which I'm really happy about. I listen to a lot of sort of hardcore music and sort of punk music, and I think there's been a revival of sort of post-hardcore and hardcore and stuff like that. It's really nice to see a lot of bands like carrying the torch forward, because, you know, the old guys are not punks anymore. They're old people, and so it's nice to have like younger people carrying that energy forward. Bands like Idols or Turnstile, Drug Church, and stuff like that I really have been enjoying lately. Let me give these snakes a smile. You are just straight up yelling at Mike with zero idea what they're saying. Yeah, definitely some of them. I don't want to draw more snakes. I don't like drawing these snakes at all. It's not my favorite. Here's a cool feature in Illustrator for anyone that cares. It's called Intertwine. And I can click this, and this, and this, and this, and it'll hide behind the arm. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, yeah, that. Delete that. Erase that. Cool. And then I want to make a shadow where this is happening. Oops. There we go. getting in the zone with this. I will look out chat in a second. Was your dream to become a graphic designer? Now how to make a living out of it. I'm gonna switch to my camera so you can see me speaking to you. Yakima, was it your dream to become a graphic designer, and how you make a living out of it? Because it's a pretty niche job. Honestly, no. I got a degree in engineering, computer science, a long time ago, and I sort of found a passion for it and ended up really loving it. But it sort of like slowly transitioned from like computer engineering to like coding websites, and then like designing websites, and then doing like HTML and CSS, and then realizing, oh, I can make icons, I can make a logo, and then it sort of kept going from there, and then it turned into like character design and illustration and animation and stuff like that. So it is my dream. It was my dream. It still is my dream. I still really enjoy it. But I didn't find out I loved it until really kind of late, like after I had already finished college. And then I just got really excited about it, and then it became my passion and my dream. So the answer is like, yes, kind of, sort of. And then to your point, like, yeah, it is a very niche job. And it's, especially being a freelancer, it can be a little bit tricky. I think like being like maybe just a graphic designer in-house is maybe a little bit less difficult, but like being a freelance illustrator is, yeah, it's, I don't know if I would recommend it as a career path. I mean, I would, to follow your passion, but it's like, maybe a little bit more risky. But I got really lucky. Really lucky. I gotta come up with another design style for the snake, and I just don't care about these snakes. Maybe this one has a tummy. That's beige. I don't know. Or yellow. Ugh, I don't know. I don't care. That's gonna have lines going through it. Like this. I'm gonna group these so that it makes my life easier later. Then I can go into the group, and then I can just drag these. If I ever need to select them again, it'll be much easier for me. Now what I can also do is take this, copy it, paste it in front, and then hit my clipping mask key, switch to the right layer, and clipping mask, yay. All thanks to my micro. How do you find clients? So I'm really lucky, Yakima. I basically, I just share my work online. I've been doing it for many years. And clients find me. I mostly share on like Behance and Dribbble, Instagram, and my website. And yeah, through sharing my work online, I've been able to work with all sorts of brands like Google and Facebook and stuff like that. And it's been really rewarding and really fulfilling. So social media is the way that I get my work. But again, I don't know if that's like the best advice, but I guess you're not asking for advice, you're asking a question. And the answer to my question is through social media, among other things, friends, having community, that sort of stuff is also important. I thought the time when Linkin Park was revolutionary in new metal was yesterday, but now the music industry is so evolving that I couldn't understand anymore because our world is spinning. Yeah, the world is spinning. You are right about that. I thought the time when Linkin Park was revolutionary yesterday. Yeah, no, but yeah, it is. It's true. It's changing all the time, and I think that's like, I know that you said that you feel like it's sort of no one's doing anything interesting right now, and I can understand that, but I do feel like people are always being creative and finding cool ways to make art and stuff like that, and there's a lot of cool stuff happening right now in music, and I think the industry is changing in many ways for the better. It's putting a lot more access and power in the hands of artists. More independent artists are able to make a living. Things like that I think are really exciting. But that's just me. What do you recommend to others to become graphic designer and illustrator? Ooh, graphic designer, Yakima. I'm not big on advice because everyone has to follow their own path, of course, but I would definitely say that graphic design is a much more sustainable path to a career, and then you can always pivot that into illustration. But I think like graphic design is a more stable way to start, and then you can bring illustration into your graphic design and like slowly transition and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say starting in the graphic design world makes more sense. I've got a pretty firm stance on that one. Graphic design is like illustration that people actually buy. Illustration is can be tricky. I don't want him to look too like balding, so I'm going to give him a little bit more hair. But 2005 from Linkin Park, now I gotta get used to Linkin Park. Yeah, it's like the new Linkin Park, right? It's weird. I never was into Linkin Park when I was younger. But I see that like Linkin Park is really popular right now. I guess because they have the new front woman, and maybe that's what's doing it, or I don't know, maybe just like my YouTube shorts just have like randomly decided to start like showing me Linkin Park. But yeah, I'm like Linkin Park is not a band I listen to, and it's like all my YouTube shorts is right now is basically Linkin Park. So there must be something happening in the world with Linkin Park, and I assume it must just be the new front woman. But also I didn't realize like how much people love that dude, Chester or whatever. I guess he was a really big deal to people. Yeah, I just always see the comments being like, Chester was the best person ever. I'll probably jump in like 10 minutes, guys and girls. So if you have any questions about me, about keyboards, about Work Louder, about drawing, art, whatever, totally happy to answer. Also, totally happy to, answer questions later too. If you want to send me a DM about anything, if you want to send Work Louder DMs about questions about all of their products, totally can. We're always around to help and answer. And we'll probably stream again, I would assume, in the next couple of days. I'll probably personally be streaming again, maybe later in the week this week. And I'm not leaving just yet, but probably on the half hour, so in about 10 minutes. But it's been really fun hanging out. I appreciate everybody chatting and being kind and asking questions. It makes streaming a lot more fun when you're not by yourself. I'm gonna start doing this more on my own personal channel as well, just more illustration focused stuff. New vocalist Emily Armstrong, cool. You can share your LinkedIn profile. Yakima, you can probably just search my name, Kirk Wallace. I can throw it up on my site. I would say start on my Instagram and then like find my LinkedIn from there, because I don't even know what my LinkedIn honestly is. But I go by Bonehouse, Bonehaus. You can see it right here if you want to follow. Certainly no pressure to, but if you're interested in graphic design and stuff like that, that's where I work under the name of. So that's probably the easiest way that you can find me. And then you can find my name, and you can probably find me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the one that I'm definitely the least active on. Not to throw shade at it. I don't know anything about LinkedIn. But I'm on there, so happy to connect. I need a flame down here to balance out my composition a bit. Yakima, you're interested in graphic design? Or are you already doing it? Or what? What are you interested in? What interests you? Smaller, a little bigger. You always want diversity of size in your design. Oh, I really don't feel like doing these other 3 snakes, and I honestly might not do them right now. I might just copy and paste these other ones. Let's move some stuff out of the way and see how it's looking. Put it in a square and try to understand what this design needs. What are we thinking? I think we probably need something up here, maybe some smoke from the fire. There's a little puff of smoke here, also from the fire. And maybe we make this lettering a touch bigger. Like that. And let's look at our reference and see what else we're missing. I guess we're good. Seems all right. Not bad for a 2-hour little stream. I don't know why people be mean to her. I know that Chester is the spotlight, but after all the bands, nothing. Yeah, no, dang, I agree. Again, I don't have like a huge opinion on. Oh shoot, I wasn't sharing my screen. I apologize, everyone. I don't have a huge opinion on like like I said, I don't even know LinkedIn, but yeah, I see like there's a lot of hate, and I don't know. I just feel like people. There's new stuff. It's a new band. It's what's happening. So get with the program. Get used to it, sister. I agree. I'm happy to hear that you're supporting it. Starting a business. Would like to work with you in the near future. Cool, Yakima. Yeah, feel free to message me. Happy to hear whatever you got going on. I'll be able to make something work. Happy to hear about the business too. That's exciting. Congrats on that. And yeah, don't be shy. I think we did it. I think we need some rosy cheeks. Very peewee. And we need a couple pieces of hair sticking out. Make it a little frantic. Maybe a little curly hair here. Oops. Slow down, Kirk. There we go. That's feeling cool. I'll finish these snakes another time. That's what's gonna happen. If you're curious, I'll post it on my account. Maybe tomorrow, probably not. But if you want to see the final piece, I'll upload it sometime. Uh-oh, what's happening? I'm losing, oh no, I'm losing everything. Where's my, there we go. There we go. Something is off right now. I don't know what it is. It's okay. Feels about right. Get enough. I don't know about this purple. Maybe we'll go with green. Maybe we do every other letter. The dark green. For now, we're gonna do this type better eventually anyway. Let's put the strokes up. Yeah, cool. We're gonna see your previous work. Yakima, just go to my Instagram. Check out if you go to. Oh, sorry, I realized that you're on YouTube. But yeah, if you're on your desktop, you can go to Instagram and my work is Bonehouse, or you can just go to my website. It's bone.haus. It's really small, probably on your screen to be able to see. But you can check out my work there, or you can look at it on Instagram. Or, you know, whatever you want to do. But that's my site, or you just type in Bonehouse like you see there. You'll find me. These don't all need to be 3. This might be 2. Yeah, that's going to help. There we go. That's how we balance a composition. There we go. Take all this, group it, see what we can get with our perturb. Oops. Boom. I love that effect. It works so fast and easy. Nice, we did it. Damn, I'm in my early 20s now. I started to understand and struggle over real though. Taxes, work, housing, but I guess my generation will never get housing anytime soon. Dang. Yeah. I don't know, man. I hope that that's not the case, but I know that it's not a very inspiring time to exist, and so I'm sorry for that. Yeah, our generation is in rough shape as well, just a little bit older, but where there's life, there's hope. So we'll see about that. But I hear you. It's a tricky world right now for sure. All right, everyone. I think I'm gonna bounce. This has been really fun. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. And again, I was working on the work ladder Nomad E, which is available for sale. They're shipping. They ship within a couple of days. And then I was also working on the Creator Micro here, which are not shipping, because they're coming with a V2 very soon, and they're going to be shipping those instead. And I also was working on a Wacom Move Ink, if you were curious about the drawing. We're working in Illustrator. I'll probably stream again within the next week, and then Work Ladder will be streaming as well with other creators and stuff like that. I think Mike, the CEO and one of the co-founders, is going to be streaming really soon too. And that's that. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Message me on Instagram if you want to chat. I'll be around. And we'll talk to you soon. And I'll hang up for now. All right. Later, Dang. Thanks for hanging out. It's been awesome. Bye, Yakima. Bye, everybody else.